Hey, what's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. And if you're going to see us post even more Dodgers content and you really want to support the channel, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. Who would you rather see the Dodgers face in the NLDS, the Padres or the Mets? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a threat do you think the Padres are to the Dodgers if they face off in the next round? Let me know down below. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So the big question today is, who should the Dodgers want to face in the NLDS? LA will take on the winner of the Mets and Padres wild card series. And heading into the series, I picked the Padres to beat the Mets. And the reason I did that is because if you look at the Mets, they've been playing .500 ball against mostly a soft schedule to end the year. They gave up the division to the Braves, really choked it away at the end. Max Scherzer had been dealing with that oblique injury. Jacob deGrom hadn't been as deGrominant of late. In his last 5 starts, a .450 ERA, including serving up 6 bombs. He's been dealing with the blister injury. And Jacob deGrom, he'll take the bump today versus San Diego to try to stave off elimination, to save their season. And it'll be the first time that deGrom has seen postseason action since 2015. And the big decision by Buck Showalter heading into the series was that he wouldn't use deGrom if they had won Game 1. Well, they got rocked in Game 1. Max Scherzer got absolutely torched, allowing 7 runs on 7 hits, including 4 home runs. The Padres just ambushed him, and Max Scherzer, the Padres got after him. They ambushed him, and he became just the second pitcher in baseball history to allow 7 runs, including 4 home runs in a postseason game. It hadn't happened since 1939. And the question I have for Max Scherzer is this the Dodgers' fault too? Are you going to blame the Dodgers organization for this one? Is this the dead arm once again? Because when he made that business decision and essentially quit on the Dodgers last year in the NLCS, he called it dead arm. But that arm resurrected itself in time to sign a record 3-year, $130 million contract with the Mets. Now, the Dodgers, they did offer Scherzer a 2-year, $72 million contract, but he ends up signing with the Mets. And in the end, I think the Dodgers dodged a bullet by not having Max Scherzer back. Because look, there's a lot of things that are undefeated. The internet, the 72 Dolphins, and Father Time. And I think it's starting to catch up with Max Scherzer. It's tougher for him to stay healthy and stay out there on the mound. And look, when he was in LA, he was absolutely electric. He was great for the Dodgers. LA was 12-1 in his starts. He posted a 1.98 ERA down the stretch. He was a big reason why the Dodgers tied a then franchise record 106 wins, but I had an issue with him blaming the organization after it was all said and done. Talking about the misuse of Max Scherzer, how they used him and that he was compromised. Look, you don't do that, especially against a classy organization like the Dodgers. They really did everything they could to get you what you wanted and put you in a position to have success. And look, they used him in Game 5 of the NLDS. That's true. But look, at the end of the day, if Max Scherzer was still under contract last season, if he had signed that deal a year prior and he wasn't a free agent, would he have pitched in Game 6 of the NLCS? I fully believe he would have. That's just my opinion. Let me know yours down below. Now, the series still could go either way, but last night was the best result as far as the Dodgers are concerned, because the Mets losing Game 1 means they have to go with Jacob deGrom in Game 2. So he takes the bump today. And if you're the Dodgers, you just want to see this series go 3 games. You want to see the bullpens as taxed as possible. You want to see all these arms being used. And look, if you're the Dodgers, now you don't have to face a Jacob deGrom potentially at the beginning of the NLDS. And I do think the Padres are dangerous, and I've been saying it for months now. Just go back and watch my interview with Alda Gonzalez, and we talked about this, because their lineup, yes, it's not as deep deep as the Dodgers, but you have some hitters that are very talented. You got the Juan Sotos, the Manny Machados. Last night, Josh Bell, he hits a big bomb. And last night, the Padres, they won with slugging, and the Mets, they just weren't able to hit. They go 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Their offense, they've struggled lately. Everyone not named Jeff McNeil is struggling to even put the ball in play and get base hits. And they don't hit lefties very well. They don't hit left-handed pitching very well, so that's why I like that matchup for the Dodgers. And if you're the Padres, you've got a lot of momentum now, and that is what you want in the wild card round. If you can prove to yourself that you can go on the road in New York and beat a 100-win Mets team, you're going to feel really confident heading into that series against the Dodgers. Now, if you're LA, you've had so much success against the Padres, against Little Brother, the Fraudres, whatever you want to call them. The Dodgers went 14-5 against San Diego this season. They took all 6 series, but you can throw out the regular season records because this is the postseason. And if you look at the starting rotation of the Padres, you've got pitchers that have had success against the Dodgers, the Blake Snells, the Yu Darvishes. I'm confident the Dodgers can get to Joe Musgrove and work that pitch count up. And ultimately, I think the Dodgers will beat the Padres in the NLDS, but you can't take any of these opponents lightly. So I do think the Mets, they're a team that, yes, you have Edwin Diaz coming out and pitching for you in the 9th. Yes, you have that two-headed monster in Scherzer and DeGrom, but we saw last night, Scherzer just doesn't look right. DeGrom, will see how he looks today, and then Bassett for tomorrow. But those middle relievers, they're not really like McGill, Tyler McGill, and those guys, really, I'm not very confident in. Marte coming back from injury was big, but we'll see. And yes, the Mets are trying to be the Dodgers East. You have Stephen Cohen's money. They're trying to buy themselves a World Series. But hey, just like Rome wasn't built in a day, either was a World Series contender. And the Mets are finding that out right now. You have to be able to draft and develop talent. You have to be able to make the right signings, the right trades. So hey, the Dodgers, they make it look easy, but just because you have money doesn't mean you can build a contender like LA. But this is the second part of my interview with MLB Network's Alana Rizzo. We talked about the Mets and Padres series, and this was recorded before Game 1. But here's me and my friend Alana Rizzo talking about the Dodgers' potential opponent in the NLDS.
We got to talk about the postseason picture because now it's clear. The Dodgers are going to play the winner of the Padres versus the Mets series. And I want to know from you, which team between the Padres and the Mets poses a bigger threat to the Dodgers?
Oh, the Mets, of course. I mean, first of all, the familiarity with the Dodgers and the Padres is obviously more. And the Padres, until the Padres can beat the Dodgers in a season more than the Dodgers beat the Padres, it's not a rivalry. I'm sorry, it's not. And I know they want it to seem like it's a rivalry, but it's not. But the Dodgers have owned the Padres, not only this season, but in years past. So it's not that I don't think the Padres are a good team. I do. But in a 5-game series, I'm taking the Dodgers over the Padres. The Mets are tough. The Mets and the Braves scare me. Obviously, you think about arguably the 2 best pitchers in the game in Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer. And of course, I realize that Atlanta just beat them. I get it. But the odds of beating those 2 again are slim to none. So you think about their pitching. You have DeGrom, you have Scherzer, not necessarily 1 and 2 in that order, but you know what I'm saying. Then you have Carrasco, you have Bassett, you have Taijuan Walker. I mean, these are some pretty formidable pitchers. And in a 5-game series, you know, DeGrom could easily start Game 5 if needed to be. So the Mets scare me. I think they have the offense. I think their closer obviously is ridiculous. He's the best closer, in my opinion, in the National League. Sans Kenley, but I mean, overall for the entire season, Edwin Diaz was stronger. I think the Dodgers, I would much rather they play the Padres. I think the Mets are going to beat the Padres, so I think the Dodgers will play. I will have to play the Mets, but I think if I had to choose, I'd rather the Dodgers play the Padres.
Look, I might be in the minority here. I think it's the Padres because, first of all, Jacob deGrom, when he's right, there's no question. He's the best pitcher in the world. He's the best pitcher on the planet when he's healthy, when he's feeling it. But deGrom hasn't been as deGrominant lately. A 6 ERA in his last 4 starts. You see him giving up home runs. And the fact that you can play them in the NLDS, you only have to face Scherzer and deGrom once in his series. So in a 5-game series, I still like the Dodgers over the Mets. The Mets bullpen, they've been a little suspect, save for Edwin Diaz. Their offense, middle of the pack when it comes to slugging. Everyone not named Jeff McNeil has really struggled of late. The Marte injury, I think, really hurt them. So, but really what I'm rooting for is 3 games where they go to extra innings. They play like 25-inning games for 3 straight games and just completely tax each other.
Yeah, they absolutely tax every arm that they had. Well, yeah, sure. I that would be amazing, but I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, no, I understand your point.
But Alana, we'll do this again. I had like 60 more questions. I was going to do like the Ken Burns documentary, a podcast with you, maybe a 10-15 hour one, but that's all we got for today. But I really appreciate you joining us. You're going to be covering the American League. Which series are you going to be covering?
I'm actually leaving right now to head to the airport to cover the American League wild card between the Guardians and the Rays, and then I'll be back here doing high heat for the DS and the CS, and then I will be in both World Series cities. So hopefully I will be in LA for the World Series.
All right, so we're going to walk it off. You know those walk-offs, where you get the Gator bass all over yourself?
Oh, yeah. I'm well aware.
We're going to do a little walk-off here, okay? Give me your World Series pick and who's winning it.
Ugh, crap. My World Series pick, Astros, Mets, Astros.
You see me, you see my face. I died a little inside, but it's okay. Dodgers.
I know. Listen, okay. I get it. I get it.
I'm surprised you're that high on the Mets.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
We'll see what happens, but thank you so much as always for joining us. You can follow Alana Rizzo at Alana Rizzo over on Twitter. She's a great follow. She follows me. It's like the peak of my life that she does that. Appreciate that as always. And catch her show with Chris Mad Dog Russo every morning, Monday through Friday on MLB Network. High Heat. You have to watch it. A great show covering all things Major League Baseball. So definitely catch that. But thanks, Alana, and appreciate you rocking with us.
All right, you guys take care. Go Dodgers.
There we go.